What's going on, guys? It's Pixelated, and today we are looking at a very special pair of sneakers. These ones are not easy to come by, and they're so not easy to come by that they're almost impossible to get your hands on unless you're willing to fork over the cost of an old used car or a mortgage payment. And that's definitely not what I want to lead a sneaker review with, but that's just the reality of sneaker culture nowadays. And honestly, I mean, as much as I don't support expensive sneakers, if I were to pick, let's say, a top 3 of sneakers that are justified in costing that amount of money, these sneakers would be in that top 3. We're taking a look and deep dive into the one and only Nike X Grateful Dead SB Dunk Lows in the green spark colorway. This sneaker released in a collection alongside 2 other sneakers, one being Opti Yellow and the other being Orange. Really? The green and yellow pairs got cool names and the orange one just got orange? The most exclusive of all 3 of them? Anyway, the orange pair released on July 18th at FTC Skate Shop. That's right. Only one store in the entire world got them. And the green and yellow pairs had wider releases across more skate shops around the world that carry Nike SB. On July 24th, these retailed for $110 US and 145 Canadian dollars here in Canada. I mean, just on the name alone, you knew these were going to be harder to get, but what made them even harder to get was this fuzzy, vibrant design. Now, I know it's moments like these where older heads come out the woodworks, they poke their heads out the holes and be like, "Boy, you weren't alive when Grateful Dead was a thing. You ain't a true fan." And you're right, I wasn't alive, but neither were most of you. This rock band formed in 1965, so for you to have been a fan, you would have at least have to have been in your teen years, which means you're at least 70 years old. And I'm sure some of you are, but there's no chance it's more than the amount of people I can count on my 2 hands. Either way, I think it's still fair for me to give a little history lesson and my personal experience with their work. So Grateful Dead is a rock band formed in 1965. They were known for fusing a lot of different genres of music in their sound. They weren't just known for their unique sound, however, but were also pioneers of concert sound. Nobody really sounded as great, see what I did there, as Grateful Dead did as a live concert band. In fact, they sounded so good they held the record for most amount of people played to, totaling over 25 million people across all their live performances. Now, I don't know about the feats of the band personally, but I did have a friend when I was younger who educated me a bit about the band, and my takeaways from that were that they were known for continuing and running on their songs well past their playtime. Let's say a 3-minute song turns into like a 10-minute song. They would just keep running on and improvising as they go along. They would just be rocking out pretty much. And this was pretty big in the psychedelic era that they played in, and you could probably guess why it was called the psychedelic era aside from the long drawn out improvised tracks. But these long drawn out running on songs must have definitely positively impacted their live shows. I mean, why wouldn't you want to go to a show of one of your favorite bands if you knew you were going to hear like music that you've probably never heard before from them? Regardless, there's a little bit of insight and history into the band and what made them so iconic that they're remembered to this day. Without them, we might have not had concerts and festivals the way we do now. I mean, sure, we probably would have still had them, but they might have not been the same. Who knows? The fact that their countercultural identity has lasted to this day is unprecedented. I'm sure most can't even begin to comprehend how it's managed to last this long, but it has. They've influenced so many successful bands after them and continue to do so to this day. Now you know a little bit more about the significance of these shoes, and I know they're not the most accessible shoes right now, but I'll leave a link in the description where you can guarantee get your size, so if you're interested in that, definitely go ahead and check that out. Now before we dig any deeper, let's quickly go over the materials. The Grateful Dead Dunks themselves are very simple in design. The upper is made primarily of 2 materials. First of all, we have this mossy toned premium green suede that makes up the toe box, eyelets, and the heel and ankle panels. We also have a green suede heel counter with Nike branding in contrasting blue stitching in the Grateful Dead font. Then we have the big pull of this shoe, and that is the fuzzy material that makes up the rest of the shoe, like the top of the toe box, the side panels, the ankle collar area. This fuzzy material in the green spark color is meant to represent bear fur. It's obviously not real bear fur, PETA, so get out of our hairs. If you think that this is the first time Nike has used this bear fur before, you're wrong. They used it back in 2006 in another pack known as the 3 Bears pack, with Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear Dunks in the pack. My personal favorite out of the 3 is the Baby Bear Dunks. This collaboration pays homage to the Grateful Dunk Bears, a series of dancing bears drawn as part of the back cover for the album History of the Grateful Dead Volume 1, A Bear's Choice. And so we have the Nike swoosh in blue suede, and it has that zigzagging pattern running across the bottom of the swoosh, meant to represent the contrasting furry collars of the bears in that illustration. The green on the rest of the shoes represents the bear's actual fur all over the rest of their body. Same goes for the other colorways in this collab. They just represent the other bears in the album art. The shoe has green rope laces with the signature lightning bolt from the Grateful Dead's iconic Steal Your Face logo on the lace tips. The tongue is made of mesh and is notably thick and padded, and the reason for that is because it has a hidden stash pocket. No surprise there, the fact that the Grateful Dead played during the psychedelic era should give you enough of an idea why this pocket exists. It's a big pocket too, it goes pretty deep into the tongue. On the back of the tongue we have the lightning bolt once again. On the insole we have an illustration of all 5 bears, with the green bear being first, and this seems to be what they're doing with the other colorways as well. So for example, the yellow pair has the yellow bear first, and so on and so forth. I was really confused when I first saw this collab because I didn't understand why I didn't find the Steal Your Face logo anywhere on this shoe, just because that is the Grateful Dead's most iconic logo, at least in my opinion. That was until I turned over the insole to find a little bit of foam cushioning on the front, but more importantly, that little Zoom cushioning pack had the logo printed on it. It is modified to say Nike SB in the skull's cranium instead of seeing the lightning bolt you typically see, and I love that cool little feature. We see the lightning bolt on other parts of the shoe anyway, so shout out to Nike for that neat little detail. Finally, we have the classic Dunk Low midsole in green spark and the outsole in the vibrant blue colorway. When it comes to comfort, it is a Dunk, so don't expect anything too crazy. It's a nice supportive shoe, additionally well padded because of the extra fur and thick tongue. The cushioning can only help with such a classic bulky midsole. When it comes to sizing, I ended up getting a pair in size 9.5. I signed up for different sizes in different raffles, mainly 9.5 and 10, hoping to better my chances. I normally fit a 9.5 in Dunks depending on which Dunk, and yes, I figured these would fit closer to true to size, which is size 10 for me, and I was right. The extra material and padding in the tongue does kind of make these a touch too snug for me. They do fit a half size down, but it is not a fit that I would recommend, not with the extra padding. I don't know how much these are going to break in for me, but all things considered, I would definitely recommend going your true to size in these. The Grateful Dead is a storied band. I couldn't tell you their greatest hits, and that's just me being honest with you, but their inspiration and legacy has lasted this long to this day, and that's just a testament to just how ahead of the curve they were as a band and a driving force in their time. Their fans are known as Deadheads, and I mean, we're sneakerheads, so I guess did we get that from them too? Who knows? This sneaker collab puts them front and center with their most lovable dancing or marching bear symbols. And once again, if you're interested in this collab, I've left a link in the description where you're guaranteed to get your size, so go ahead and check that out. What did you guys think about this collab? Did Nike do it justice? Could they have done something better? Did you cop? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe and hit that noti bell so you don't miss out on future content, and share this with your friends. I know your friends want to hear about these sneakers too, let them know. I'll see you in the next one, catch you later. Pixelated is so grateful.